Well, as advertised, on July 4th, showers and storms are moving into the area right now. Rain heavy at times, falling from Bella Vista to Bentonville to Rogers, back down through Cave Springs. Let's take a look at what's happening now live. You probably hear the fireworks going on, or maybe hear the thunder out there. Look at those downpours looking live out there from, looks like we're from 14th or 8th Street looking towards the south and southeast with scattered showers and storms moving in. Here's a look at those thunderstorms as they've made their way from west to east. That warning for Benton County has been canceled, so we're no longer under a severe thunderstorm warning as we were earlier with some of those storms that are moving through. But some of the winds on the leading edge of the front, they'll be quite gusty at times. You can see some of those winds moving in to the Uptown Rogers area from west to east. Look at the trees in the center of the screen. This is looking northbound on I-49 as some of those heavy showers and storms have started to make their way in. Let's take another look at what's going on. Let's go street level here and give you an idea of what's happening where you live. We'll stop the radar and zoom in on some of the heaviest showers and storms in the Bentonville area along Southeast 8th Street. Some heavy rain right along Central and Main. So we've got it right over the square now out towards North Walton and Northwest 3rd Street. Heavy showers along Southwest 2nd up through Northwest 12th. It looks like we've got some heavier storms right there along, it looks like Somerset Street and Regency Court, some of those areas that were hit really hard by those damaging winds. If we look back to the west, we have heavier storms along State Highway 102 running east. That's along L.C. Hickman Road, moving out there towards North Tycoon, Edgewood, 279, Brookside Road, South Main Street, and West Fish Hatchery Road in Centerton. So that's the area in Benton County where we have the heavy showers and the thunderstorms. Dropping a little bit farther to the south, you can see some heavier rain in Cave Springs and to the west. So here's North Main Street, and just south of Osage Mills, we're getting some of those storms along Mill Dam Road and Stillhouse Springs Drive on the west side of Cave Springs. The little circle in the middle is X and A. So this thing just moved through X and A and is tracking east towards 112 and will eventually move in towards the South Mount Hebron Road, South Pinnacle Hills Parkway, Pleasant Grove Road, and then crossing over 49 out towards West Laurel, South Dixieland, coming up on the east side of Pleasant Grove where it intersects South 1st Street up towards Price Lane, and then up towards East New Hope. That's where this one's going. Let's go farther south now and look in towards Tawnytown. By the way, the rain is starting to pick up out there, out in the Uptown Rogers area. You can see out in the distance Hunt Towers being shrouded in some of those showers that are moving in from the west towards the east. Let's get back to street level here near Elm Springs and Tawnytown and take a closer look at what's happening here. So this is moving more towards the Springdale area and getting into the north side of Johnson more so than Bentonville, at least this particular storm is. Here's a closer look at it in Tawnytown. It's north of 412. The heaviest now falling, looks like it's right around Javello Road. Give me a second there. Off to the north, and then that's going to be tracking east towards Millsap and Teresa Lane running north along, I'm not going to try it, R. Digman Road, or otherwise known as Highway 906, close to 412. That's on the north side of Tawnytown. In other words, here's Tawnytown, here's Highway 68, there's the post office, the old church, the north side of that, you know where it is. That's moving through now, and that's going to track towards Oak Grove and Elm Springs here in the next few minutes. Matter of fact, this is what it looks like out there towards 412 live right now. You can see those showers starting to make their way in down 412. Now, this is looking northbound at it, so the storm is on the left side of the screen. Back over to analysts real quick and taking a closer look at this. These storms are moving in and dropping quite a bit of rainfall. There's even a little bit of hail approaching quarter size here north of Tawnytown. That's the storm that we just saw a moment ago. This storm, by the way, not severe. There is a severe storm to the west out towards Colcord and moving up towards Grove and Grand Lake. If you're out on Beaver Lake, well, it's 8:03. Get off the lake. It's time to head back to wherever you're going. These showers and storms are going to be moving over Beaver Lake here shortly, and most of Benton County is going to get socked with this. The great thing is, though, temperatures are really going to come down in the wake of these showers and storms that are moving through. So you get some rain-cooled air, and you're going to enjoy a nice drop in temperatures. Temperatures will really fall off. We should see them shave down about 10 degrees for many of us. These storms are currently, let's see here. Let me stop the radar and zoom in. Tawnytown and Elm Springs, you can see a little bit of a heavier storm there on the west side of Elm Springs. That's what I'm seeing on the cameras too. That's looking northbound towards Elm Springs. You have the Walmart there on the left side of the road. Dead center is going to be looking out towards Bentonville, and the very top left corner is going to be out towards XNA, where those thunderstorms just moved through. And that heavy cell is on the southwest side of Elm Springs. You really have two cells there in the dark purple, and I think we can do a better job of showing you what this looks like and exactly who's under the strongest part of the storm looking in here. So here's a wide view first, and then let's loop it and let's see how these things are tracking. So we have these showers and storms. Again, this is along that boundary that's moving in northwest to southeast, first affecting northwest Arkansas and Benton County, later on tonight getting into the Fort Smith area. By the way, we are under a severe weather risk for today. I think I've still got that loaded in here. Yeah, so northwest Arkansas, Fayetteville, from Fort Smith north up to Cedarville, Mountainburg, Bella Vista, Harrison, all under that severe thunderstorm risk today. So, not a surprise that we're getting some of these severe thunderstorm warnings, and we may see a little bit more, but they're few and far between. So, it's not the big story as far as the weather goes. This is not a big severe weather outbreak. These are storms that flare up real quick and then fall apart. So here's a closer look at those two stronger cells. Let's check the north one first. This is north of Cave Springs, so north of Healing Springs Road on the east side of Osage Springs along Phillips Cemetery Road and Roberts Road. The new scan put the heaviest cell right here. This is north of West Pleasant Grove Road along South 87th Place, West Tuttle, West Comet, and West Milky Way. That is west of 112. So that's up there towards Scissortail, where we're seeing some of the heavy showers and storms that are tracking in. That's going to move to the east up towards Shadow Valley. So we'll have some of these storms moving in towards Mission Hill Circle, Champions Boulevard, Pinnacle Drive. So now we're getting towards Pinnacle Country Club here. Here's Pauline Whitaker and the roundabout that no one in the world knew how to use. So the city of Rogers literally just had to redesign the whole thing so people know how to go through a circle. That's West Pauline Whitaker with the heaviest just to the south of that. Some heavier cells south of Pleasant Grove. This is over by Bellevue Elementary, Knollview Way, Valley Forge Road, Bainbridge Circle, and Laurel Hill Drive. That's tracking to the east. That's just north of Lowell and north of Cave Springs. Here's the 612 bypass, and just south of that, those storms are tracking north of Oak Grove. So here's the harbor area out towards the high school would be right around here on the left side of the screen. Jones Road, West Sunset, those are coming in out towards Tall Oak Loop, Francis Fair Parkway, and then moving north up towards Ireland Street, Norman Avenue, and Wren's Nest Cove in the Springdale Town area. Again, that's tracking east. So what else is out there, right? Well, here's a big view. I'm going to zoom on out. This is that boundary that's moving in. So scattered showers and storms will form along that boundary for the next 2 to 3 hours. Like this stuff may continue to about midnight, but once we lose daytime heating, I think a lot of this is going to simmer down. Daytime heating goes away in about an hour or so. The end of civil twilight is 9:06, so the sun will set and it's still going to be light. Then about 6 minutes after 9 o'clock, it'll be pitch black out there. Of course, it also may be raining where you live, so you'll need to keep that in mind. But the severe weather risk with all of this is going to be low, despite the fact that we have some heavy showers and storms up and down the I-49 corridor right now. Bentonville's seeing the rainfall, and looks like the north side of Centerton along Townview Road, just north of East Centerton Boulevard, West Highway 72, Southwest 4th Street. Here's Southwest Elm Tree and Southwest 8th. That's going to be moving out towards Tater Black and Southwest Gibson, Southwest Elm Manor, and Southwest Da Vinci, also Southwest Homestead Avenue, getting some of that heavier shower and storm activity. You can see the darker white spots indicating where it's a bit heavier. A little bit heavier there towards Pleasant Grove, and then here's Wallace running east and west. There's Sands, there's Shores. This is moving east now out towards Garrett Road and Shores Avenue. So this is out towards the Mount Hebron Park area here on the northwest side of Cross Creek Boulevard. Some of those showers and storms are now making their way in with light to moderate rain around Willow Ridge Way and then Timber Ridge Drive, Kendallwood Place, South 41st, and South Bellevue Road will be getting this shower and storm move in from the west to the east. Again, not a severe storm, and if you're planning on doing some fireworks, hey, give it about 30 minutes 30, 45 minutes or so. And once this sucker moves through, it's going to be a whole heck of a lot cooler out there and it will feel a lot more comfortable too. So you'll get a drop in temperatures, not much of a drop in humidity out of this, but the rain is coming down out there and heavy at times up and down I-49 from Bella Vista back down through Fayetteville and central Benton County. A new warning just got put up here. I just noticed it popped up here on the radar in northeast Oklahoma. You can see it flashing here. That's the storm in Delaware County out around Jay. That will be not much of a factor for Benton County, at least at the moment. That looks like it's tracking more towards Anderson, Jane, and perhaps Neosho and eventually Joplin. But these storms are front and center now, up and down I-49. And you know what that means on I-49? It means people will crash. So if you're headed out this evening, be careful on the interstate. On a normal day, people crash, it seems like. You throw in some rain and it's Pandalarium. That's a live look from Embassy looking northbound up towards Rogers and Bentonville. Southbound traffic moving awfully slow now, and those showers and storms are front and center, and it looks like we've got it moving right over us here on 612. The latest scan near Elm Springs put the heaviest near Robbins Road, Ball Road, and the 612 bypass coming up on looks like South Miller Road to the east near Spring Creek, and then right there where the bypass is West Apple Blossom and 612. So a little bit heavier there, and a little heavier on the north side of Bentonville. That's Northwest 3rd Street, moving farther north along North Walton Boulevard. So here's Northwest 7th. Here's Walton. And then as we back down to the south, we've got Northwest H, Crestview Drive, Northwest Jackson, Magnolia Drive, Northwest 5th. There's Bella Vista Way and Northwest 9th. Move back to the north here. There's Trail End. And then Northwest Park Street. Here's Tiger running east and west. So coming down over Mom's house there, North Walton, if you're watching this, Mom, or if you're FaceTiming my daughter, I'm not sure what's going on because we just got a hamster. And apparently it's all the rage with 9-year-olds in this house. Um, anyway, so that storm's moving east, but the heaviest is along Northwest 10th and Robin Hood and Dogwood, and that's coming down Northwest 10th towards Bella Vista Road and coming right down Tiger, essentially. So that's a big picture view. I'm going to take you back to analyst real quick. Let's get another look at this. I'm going to look at this for two different things. Rotation and hail are going to be the two. So I'm going to zoom out first. First, we'll check for rotation with the storm. I don't think we're going to have much, if any, just because the upper level winds are not there. As I say that, there's a little around J right there, not much. And it looks like there could be some very gusty winds on the east side of Rogers, too, from Little Flock to Rogers. I'm showing that darker green color there, showing some gustier winds. That's probably that gust front leading on the leading edge of the line. Now, as far as hail goes in the storm, isolating that, the hail is actually going to be highest out towards the creeks and Spring Ridge. That's moving east towards Brentwood and Weatherton. That should stay of south of 264, maybe right along 264, but there's a hail core there of about quarter size hail that's coming up on the ASP headquarters, approaching I-49. They may issue a warning on that too. That's about quarter size hail. That's pretty good size, chunky hail there that's falling on 264. Let me loop this and put this sucker in motion and see if we can find a camera out on 264. See if we can get a ground truth for what's happening out there. I've got southbound at mile marker 77. Southbound at mile marker 78, and I'm going to look at maybe the Oakwood overpass. This is looking northbound here out towards those storms that are starting to make their way in. So again, these are moving in from west to east. We could use the rain. We need the rain. And hey, we are getting the rain, albeit heavy at times there, with some hail likely on the west side of Lowell. Here's another big view of the storm as it moves in. Again, this is moving in from west to east into central Benton County. These storms stretch back to the southwest. They're not severe out around McAllister, Wilburton, or Tallahena. Those probably get into Fort Smith about 2 hours from now, so probably between 9 and 10 o'clock. Right now, the heaviest storms are out there around Lowell and Bethel Heights and Elm Springs, and then Rogers and Bentonville. Again, no severe weather with this, but you will be experiencing some brief gusty winds. And if the radar is any indication, we're probably going to have just a little bit in the way of some hail too on 264 westbound once you get west of Rogers. Some of those strong winds are coming into Uptown now, though. This is a look northbound on I-49. Time now is 8:13 on July 4th. Most of those fireworks celebrations go off at 9 o'clock, right? Well, tonight's a little iffy. You just delay it a little bit, you might be in good shape. You can't even see Hunt Towers out in the distance, and on the right, I guess you can make out the flashing red lights of Topgolf, but traffic still moving pretty good up and down the I-49 corridor as those showers make their way in. Some lightning strikes heaviest here south of Cave Springs, just south of East Brown Road and South Main Street. That's just south of the exit there where 612 dumps into 112 and then runs south towards that Elm Springs speed trap there before you head in towards Tawnytown. New Scan puts some of the heaviest east of Gold Springs and North Dixieland, just north of West Monroe. So this is essentially right along the interstate near the Lowell exit. And I think we can get a great look at that here from the RDOT cam here. I'll pull that thing up. This is looking right where that white pixel is on radar. You can see folks throwing the four-way hazard lights on. Visibility is kind of crummy out there on July 4th, and the roadways are pretty sloppy, and drivers are pretty bad, especially the ones with Texas tags. Just saying. Those are going to be tracking east, not the Texas tags, but the storms across Lowell, Cross Hollow, Frisco, Springdale, and North Tawnytown. It looks like we've got one that just developed too that's going to be moving on the north side of Fayetteville, closer to Johnson. Let's see if they can see that thing pop up here right there. So that's closer. That's going to be coming in towards more so towards the Blessings, if not just a little bit farther to the north of that, with the heaviest near Cave Springs on 264. 112 is really getting the heaviest rain right now, with a lot of lightning on the west side of the county from 59 out towards 102 and northeast Oklahoma. Again, not much is happening farther south. The way the front is oriented, it's more that northwest to southeast direction. So kind of like that, and it's advancing southeast. So this whole area is going to get filled in with showers and storms here tonight. The good news is, as we lose daytime heating, we're going to lose a lot of instability. So the risk of any severe thunderstorms is going to come down with time. I still think you get the rain, the thunder, the lightning, possibly some gusty winds, but the severe weather threat should come down significantly. Showers and storms underway now. Bentonville, Rogers, Bella Vista, Lowell, Cave Springs, Elm Springs, and Johnson. Expect those to move into Fort Smith, Salisaw, and Van Buren in the next 2 hours. I'll be keeping an eye on it, as well as the punks. Not the things you light with, but my kids. They've got the Roman candles ready. So we'll see when this thing moves on through, and hopefully get some fireworks shows in later on this evening with some rain-cooled air. That's a little bonus. Get you back here in a little bit.